I was doing a Twitch stream over here on our other Twitch channel on Monday mornings, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I do a little Twitch to get on there, talk to the people. But one of the people in the Twitch chat asked, "What makes you? What is a skate? What makes a skater?"
Mm.
You know, and it was an interesting conversation we had about that. What makes a skateboarder a skateboarder? You know, and it kind of goes back to like this dude on the MLB pitcher, right? He probably doesn't skate anymore. He used to skate, but he's an MLB pitcher. He probably doesn't. It's probably in his contract where he can't skate.
For sure.
Probably,
He falls, breaks his finger, breaks his
Probably,
ankle,
yeah.
whatever.
Definitely.
But what makes a skateboarder a skateboarder? And I was thinking to myself, okay, 13-year-old kid skates for a couple years, learns how to ollie, kickflip, do a couple tricks, puts down the board, doesn't even skate to, now he's 40 years old, 45, going down, doesn't even think about skating, doesn't even look at skate spots as skate spots, but he could pick up a board and do a kickflip. Does that make him a skateboarder?
I think it would be all his perspective on whether or not he's a skateboarder. He could be a fan of skateboarding or an actual skateboarder. You know what I mean? So I guess
think,
there's...
especially with something like skateboarding, because it's like, especially those first tricks, ollies and kickflips, when you don't have a base of experience, those are really hard to learn.
For sure.
So like, if you've put in enough time to learn how to do pretty proper kickflip or decent kickflip, that means you really committed some real hours to this.
For sure.
In my heart, in my mind, I think that makes you a skater. If you've put in enough hours to like,
but if
have a few of the like standard tricks under your belt.
So if you got a few standard tricks, but you don't do them anymore. You don't even drive down the street and be like, oh, look at that curb cut. Oh, look at that rail. You're doing your own thing. When does it leave? When are you not a skater anymore?
I don't think once you, I don't know.
You know what I mean?
No,
I don't think it's
for real.
wrong
Yeah,
answers.
exactly. I mean, this is definitely a tough answer tough question to answer specifically.
You can be, I don't think you can ever be a non-skater if you've already been a skater.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
Are you a being able to ride a biker? I don't ride bikes every day, but you can give me a bicycle and I can ride it.
But that doesn't mean you're a biker.
I'm not
you
a
can
biker,
ride a bike.
a bicyclist, but I can ride bikes.
Right.
So
and I can shoot a basket. And does that make me a basketball player? Or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, or,
Yeah,
I can play basketball,
but
like, am I, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's these taking a journey down we can go different ways. And when you start to break it down and like,
everybody's going to go different ways on this for sure.
Yeah, I can swim and I can skate, based on whatever you may do, but does that make you a swimmer or does that make you a skater now? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel you. Actually, I'm gonna retrace my answer. It's just gotta be in your heart, bro. It's just gotta be something you spend enough time with, where you can talk the talk, hold the conversation with the culture.
Exactly.
And
but you could be a fan and hold the conversation for the culture.
1,000%. I think we need fans. We need fans.
For sure. But you can be a fan but never have been on a skateboard.
You have to be a hybrid. You have to be able to like do some moves.
What about if you have
talk the talk?
What about if you have a disability or you got injured and there's no physical way that you could actually ride a skateboard?
Well, if you got injured, then you're a skater regardless, because that was out of your control. It's not like you just like grew out of it.
Totally.
Right.
It got snatched from you.
Sure.
And your heart was there.
Yes.
In my opinion. Yeah, man.
It's tough, man. When you go down this little road, you're like, damn, bro. Like,
it's interesting, right?
It's all up to the person.
Is that person a skateboarder? Like, or is he a fan? Like, who knows? That's what I'm saying. I think only in your heart whether you're a skateboarder or not. Or you could be a poser and be like, yeah, I skateboard, and really not be that dude. You know what I'm saying? Like
100%, man.
It's
it's
a slippery slope.
It is a slippery slope. You don't have to be good to be considered a skateboarder. That's for sure.
Not at all.
Not at all.
I think it just comes out. You just have to love it.
I like Yogi's answer over here. It says it's in your heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good, decent answer, I think.
Totally.
To make it. But again, like maybe it's in your heart, but you don't actually physically do it.
Yeah, Spanish Mike.
He's gonna get in the chat here pretty soon, defend himself.
We love you, Spanish, bro. We know you love skateboarding, bro.
We know he loves skateboarding. That's without question. He just doesn't love to ride his skateboard. I never understood that. The people who like love skateboarding but had no interest in actually riding a skateboard, like I don't get it. I don't think I've ever been into something that I had no interest in actually
Doing.
attempting
Right.
or
Yeah.
doing. Now I'm just talking shit about Mike. Obviously Mike has skated. He knows how to skate, but I just give him shit because like it's literally like pulling teeth to get him to ride his board. Every day we go to the skate park, I'll be like, "You gonna skate today, Mike?" He's like, you know, I might pull out a trick or two. I might.
He
But
says
it's
he's dropping an edit soon, by the way.
a minute. Took him 4 years to film. Him and Kieran Capel's been filming their parts together simultaneously.
This is so good, dude. I love this conversation. I love this topic. This
Well,
is a
it's-
great one.
It's interesting. I mean, when you just start really getting down to the nuts and bolts of it, you're like, really does make a skater a skater?
Yeah, I think a
Right?
succinct thing just for me would be if you've done it, you know how to at least do some basic tricks, maybe a kickflip, maybe a nose side, maybe 180, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But you also could like hold a conversation with a fellow skater and, know about frontside, backside, know about like, you know, this guy meant a lot to me, or this video part, maybe have a couple video parts that
Yes.
you love.
Mm-hmm.
Then to me, I think like, you're a skater.
Totally.
Like it held some time in your life that made you feel like emotional about it.
Totally. Now, what about if the cop jumps out of his car and he said, "Man, I could skate. I used to skate back in the day," and he does a kickflip right in front of you? Is he a skater?
Well, that's what you just said right there.
I
You said,
know.
I could skate.
Yes.
I skated back in the day.
Yes.
But that's something like what we went back to saying like, yeah, I could shoot a basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I used to shoot back in the day, but did you play in the league? Was that your life?
Yeah. There
You know,
you go.
at some point, if it was your life for however brief it was, that
right.
like that's all you lived and breathed for however brief, you're a skater, man.
Definitely.
Mark Normand,
Definitely.
comedian, he can skate. Jenkum did a piece on it. He was on our show. He skates. He keeps up with skating. He's a full-fledged gnarly comedian, but is
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
a skater?
Well, if you go on to have another,
I think it's got to be in their mind.
if you go on to have, yeah, it's up to them. But if you go on to have another full blown career in something and like that is being pretty lucrative and it's your new passion, like if you're not skating every day, I can understand why, because I know the hours I put into skateboarding to become where I've become in skateboarding. And if you're at that level in a different career, well then obviously you had to put in similar hours to get to where you're
No
at.
doubt.
So I could see why you're not exactly skating every day. That's like asking me to be skating all day every day and then also be a stand-up comic and
Right.
be at the top of my game. Like,
For
bro,
sure,
do you know how
for sure.
hard that is to do both of those things at the highest level? It's like it's not impossible, but that's like you have to have no life.
So,
No
I
doubt.
mean, you could flip this any which way you want, but it's like if you've been in, maybe a couple commercials, right? Are you an actor?
Right.
Right.
I've done some acting, but are you an active actor? No.
Right. So,
Yeah. There you go.
Like, are you a working actor? No.
I don't know.
This is a very interesting conversation, man.
I think you just got to I think you have to have a love for it. I think you have to have maybe done it at one point in time in your life, I think not being on a board for X amount of years and not even thinking about skateboarding for that matter. I think you got to like re up your shit.
Yeah,
you
it's
know what I
gonna
mean?
take
You
a
got
little
to you got to
Pay your dues,
You got to
SAG dues.
resubscribe. You know what I mean?
Your SAG dues.
Yeah.
In skateboard
Yeah.
fashion. Like, yeah.
Maybe if all of us know the people who had to come across this crossroad. Maybe if you ever had to come to the crossroad where you had to like be like, I love skateboarding, it's my life, but obviously it's not working out. I have to either face the facts and move on to something new, or just be stubborn and keep trying to push. Anybody who had to come to that crossroad and where it was painful to let go, you're a skater. If it was
Big
painful
time.
to let go, you're a
Big
skater.
time.
Right.
Big time.
You know what I mean?
For
If
sure.
you had to come to that crossroad and make the choice, you're a skater.
Oh, hey, we have somebody in the chat saying that Justin Bieber skates. Is he a skater?
I've skated with him a couple times. He can skate.
Yep.
And
Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne is definitely
Lil
a
Wayne
skater.
is a skateboarder,
He skates
straight up.
like regularly
Yes.
all the time. I don't care what level, high level, whatever. That's not the conversation. The point is that I seen that guy put in hours and hours.
The passion is
consistently.
real.
Over 10 years. He's been skating. Must have been skating 12 years by now.
Yes.
Consistently.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
That's a skater.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, wasn't there a video of him like in the club and they zoomed in on? He's on his phone. He's watching
Watching
skate
a
videos?
video.
That's a skater.
Yes.
Was that real or was that fake?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm gonna go ahead and say I think that was real because I
Okay.
I would
truly
guess
believe that
it's
he would
real.
do that. I think that he would
I
do
feel
that.
like that was like a shrimp daddy. Fucking.
Maybe. I don't know. But